Lucy. So many embarrassing things have happened publicly recently. Hey guys, it's Molly here for another video, and I'm so excited to be back here in my studio with my VidCon hoodie on, chilling on a Wednesday night with some David's tea beside me to film a video for you guys, because I feel like I haven't just like sat down alone in my studio and filmed a sit down video where I chat with you guys in a really long time. So today's the day. We're doing another Q&A because why not? You guys always have so many questions for me, so now we get to answer some. I posted on Instagram earlier today mentioning that I was going to be filming a Q&A video, and I think how many responses did we get? Like
about 100?
About 100. 100 people sent questions in, and obviously I could make a video with 100 questions, but that would be a real long video, and we know how I already make very long videos to begin with. So I can't answer everyone's question, but thank you to everybody who hit me up on Instagram to ask. Hopefully in a future one, if I don't feature you here, you'll be featured. By the way, shameless self-promo. Head over to my Instagram, written across right here. Go. We have fun over there. All right, into the questions. Do you still dress up for Halloween was the first question, and the answer is I do, but I try to dress up in costumes that either don't require me to spend money because I don't like buying just like generic costumes that are like $80 from the Halloween store and then I wear them once. And I also don't like that a lot of like women's Halloween costumes are very revealing. I think that's silly. So I try to like make my own costumes or be a little more creative. And if I do have to like purchase something for a costume, I like to make it something that I'll actually get use out of again or wear again. So I think this year I'm going to dress up as Emily Elizabeth. I'll put an image right here of what I'm talking about. Emily Elizabeth, and Gallop will dress up as Clifford the Big Red Dog. So, Natasha asked, have I ever had an incident where somebody was rude to me because I've had a guide dog? Yes, of course. That kind of like comes with the service dog, guide dog territory. In fact, I feel like it probably comes with the disability territory. Like there are certain people in life that are just not going to be very understanding, who are going to be, you know, ignorant or rude because of your situation. And I think that's something you kind of just have to cope with and learn to be like an advocate for yourself in those situations. Somebody asked, do I think it's an advantage or disadvantage to have been able to see before going blind? It's a very complicated question that I could discuss for hours. It's something that could be debated either way. I think there are pros to having gone blind over time, and I think there are cons to having gone blind over time. I think there's no right answer. And you can argue it either way, and I don't want to sit here and diminish anybody else's situation. Like, I don't want to sit here and say like, oh, I think it would have been better to be born blind, because, you know, people who have been born blind, you know, might feel the opposite way, and I don't want to say that their situation was better than mine or easier than mine, because I can't say that. So essentially this is me avoiding answering your question and saying that I think there's pros and cons to both. Ooh, somebody asked if I could have any 3 wishes granted, what would those wishes be? Number 1, to live in LA, which like might happen. So that wish might get granted. 2, to like hang out at an elephant sanctuary and just like chill with the baby elephants and like bathe them and feed them and love them. And 3, to be on the Ellen DeGeneres show. Those are probably like my top 3 life wishes at this moment. I mean, of course I could go bigger than that, but I feel like those are like pretty solid wishes that are, you know, been in my heart for a while. So those are probably them. My favorite singer is Ed Sheeran and has been for a very long time. And I don't think I have a favorite song of the moment. If I do, it's not by him. The local Sherpa asked what my favorite thing to do in the fall is, and I think I answered a question from you in my last Q&A, so thanks for hanging out with me on my next Q&A, or on this Q&A, I guess. And hey, maybe the next one, I don't know. My favorite thing to do in the fall is cry in my bed and pretend it's not fall. Butterfly Wolves asked what my favorite thing to always order at a restaurant is, and it totally depends on what the restaurant is. So like there's a restaurant Fresh downtown Toronto. It's like a local vegan vegetarian chain. They have about 4 or 5 locations now in Toronto. And I always start with the quinoa onion rings. I can't talk tonight. The quinoa onion rings with the vegan garlic aioli to dip. I have a green smoothie that usually has some sort of like ginger, lemon, kale, that kind of situation. And then I usually have the green poutine, which is like french fries, vegan cheese, mushrooms, steamed greens, pumpkin seeds or sunflower seeds, that kind of thing. And that would be like my typical order when I go to Fresh, but I mean every restaurant, I have a different typical order. What advice would I give my middle school self who had just recently been diagnosed with a retinal disease? So I was diagnosed younger than middle school. I was diagnosed when I was 4, but I dealt with the majority of my vision loss at 13, 14, which is middle school age. So I feel like even though I was diagnosed younger than that, I kind of went through the grieving process of the diagnosis when I was that age, if that makes sense. And what I would say is that it's okay to cry, and it's okay to be angry, and it's okay to be upset. It's okay to not know how to feel. And it's important to let yourself grieve. It's important to go through those feelings and then, rise above it and realize you can't live like that forever, because that's not living. That's not life. And you need to accept that you can't change that situation and figure out how you're going to cope and move on. Because the reality is it's not the end of the world. It's just the start of a different chapter in your life. And you never know what amazing gifts that chapter might bring, even though right now it feels like all it's bringing is a nightmare. Anna asked me what my favorite book or movie was when I was a child. Now, a lot of books didn't come in audio form when I was growing up. It's so much better now. Like we have things like Audible, not sponsored, but they're amazing. So Audible has so many book options in audio form, and almost instantly when it comes out in regular print form, it comes out in audio, which is amazing. But that wasn't the case when I was a child. We'd have to get Daisy books from the CNIB, Canadian National Institute for the Blind, and on my Victor reader or my Daisy player, I would play the CDs. Anyways, there was very few options, but of the few options I had in terms of reading growing up, my favorite books were the Anne of Green Gables series and The Giver. I loved The Giver. I actually had to read that for grade 8 English class and fell in love with the book and read it over and over and over again. I think that's an amazing book. I should reread that. And I also loved the Shopaholic series by Sophie Kinsella, which is literally still a series that I read to this day.
Lucy, what's the most embarrassing thing you or Gallup have ever done in public?
Ooh, Lucy. So many embarrassing things have happened publicly recently. So back when I filmed with Casey Neistat in New York City, on the way home in the airport, Gallup had explosive diarrhea at the airport. That was a nightmare. That was so embarrassing, and nobody was helping us, and it was a very awkward situation. And so that was pretty embarrassing that Gallup did that. Thanks, buddy. But I mean, he was sick. It's not his fault. I'm an understanding mother. I get it. And probably the most embarrassing thing that I've done recently is when I was shopping in New York City also. Wow, a lot of embarrassing things happened to me in New York City. I should not go to New York City. Just kidding, I love you, New York. So when I was shopping in New York City in Chelsea Market a few weeks ago, when I shop, I feel my way around the store, and I, go from one display to the next and touch a guy's butt. Just hand on butt. So that was pretty embarrassing. And then literally 3 minutes later, I'm feeling a display, and I was like, oh, these are really pretty earrings. And my mom's like, those are the keys to the display. So multiple blind girl moments happened all in a row in that situation. So I'm sorry to the man whose bum I touched. So somebody asked what sense of mine is the most valuable after losing my sight. And I think it's It's really hard to say. It's between my ears and my hands. I always say my hands are my eyes. I have other best friends who are blind who rely on their ears more than their hands. Kind of depends. I feel like, I mean, obviously my ears are the most important in terms of communication with the world around me. Like, I need my ears to be able to communicate because I can't communicate visually. I can't write things down and read what you write back to me. I can't do any of that kind of stuff. Obviously, I can't like do sign language unless it's adaptive sign language, but I don't know that. Why would I, right? And so for me, like ears in terms of like everyday living is the most important for communicating and getting around, but my hands are like the window to the visual world. So it's so hard for me to pick. It's like a solid tie between my ears and my hands. All right, and the final question of this Q&A video is, can I hear my eyes shaking? Which the answer is no, I can't hear my eyes shaking. But that wasn't actually the question. The question was, can I feel, oh my God, I was about to say, can I see my eyes shaking? Which I also can't. Can I feel my eyes shaking? And finally, no, I can't. I'm very unaware of them shaking. I notice that they're shaking when I do look at light, and the light is shaking in the same motion that my eyes are shaking. But other than that, I cannot feel that they're shaking. They've been shaking like this my entire life. From the moment I was born, they've been shaking like this. And, you know, I'm just used to it. It's not something I'm conscious of. It's not something I can control. I cannot stop it from happening, even temporarily. I have zero ability to cause or stop them from shaking, and don't even, you know, think about it like 99.9% of my life. The only times that I really think about them shaking are when people are like, hey, your eyes are shaking. What's up with that? And I'm like, oh yeah, they do shake. Because even when I look at light and see that the light is shaking, that's always how light has looked to me. So it's not any different for me. Oh, wait. Before I close the video, I just remembered another blind girl moment that was really embarrassing, and I feel like I should share it with you guys. Because I talked about this in another video, in a Q&A I did a couple months ago. Somebody had asked if I ever had a blind fashion fail, and I said that I hadn't. And then later on, I kind of remembered that I didn't have a blind fashion fail, but I did have a blind makeup fail, and I said that I would share that in a pinned comment. I mentioned in that video that I would share it in another Q&A video, and I haven't yet. So here I am going to share that final embarrassing blind girl moment before I leave. So I was speaking at a school in Windsor. It was in December. I was wearing this really cute Elfie Selfie sweater with sequins because I love sequins. And I had done my makeup in the hotel room that morning, and we were in a really big rush. I think I probably slept in. Shocker, me sleeping in. So we rushed out of the hotel, got to the school, and we walked down the hallway. And usually when I get to schools, either people know who I am because the school has been publicizing that I'm coming and has posters of my face in the hallways. So people are like, oh, that's the girl that's speaking to us today. Or sometimes even my followers go to that school, so they'll know who I am. And in general, people just stare at me a lot because I'm this little tiny girl in a glittery Elfie Selfie sweater with heels on and a massive dog walking down their school hallway first thing in the morning, and they're not used to seeing that. So I'm being stared at, and I'm just trying to own it. Yeah, look at me. I'm fabulous with my Elfie Selfie hoodie or sweater, and just walking down, and we go to the office to check in and to meet up with our point person to take us to the assembly hall where I can set up my tech and do my sound check and everything. And as we're sitting there waiting for the teacher to come meet us in the office, my mom's doing some emailing on her phone, and she's sitting across from me, and she looks up and she starts laughing. And I was like, what? And she's like, oh God. And I was like, what? And she's like, I forgot to fix your makeup this morning before we left the hotel. I had walked down the hallway owning that stuff with everybody staring at me with mascara blobs on my face. So, blind girl fail, and slightly embarrassing. And then I have to get up in front of all these kids who just watched me walk down the hall with big mascara blobs on the side of my nose and try to not feel embarrassed for myself. So that was pretty embarrassing. And that concludes this Q&A video. I'm sorry if it was all over the place. I feel like I'm not used to sitting down and filming with you guys and chatting to you because it's been a hot minute since we've done so. I feel like my brain's just not working. So I'm sorry, but that's why it's a good thing I did a Q&A video, not a really super important video. Anyways, I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna go to bed. Love you. Bye.